Did Todd Chrisley get Botox immediately after release? Did Todd Chrisley get Botox immediately after his release from jail on May 28, 2025? When he appeared at his Friday, May 30th, press conference, he looked incredible, as if he hadn't aged a day. Fans started to wonder what he had done, as Todd was going backward in time. So did he undergo any cosmetic procedures? Keep reading for more details. Did Todd Chrisley get Botox immediately after release? It is no secret that Todd Chrisley is a vain man and is all about coloring his hair and keeping himself young. Everyone was clamoring to get a first look at him when he left his Pensacola prison camp because they wanted to see the real Todd. It was an exciting idea to see him without any facial help and gray hair. Yet the first photos Savannah Chrisley shared showed Todd in sunglasses and a hat. It was hard to tell what was going on underneath. Then he emerged on Friday, May 30th, and he was refreshed, years younger than ever before. Immediately, fans and followers wanted to know what he had done. He was even asked why he looked so amazing, fit, and healthy after more than 2 years behind bars. Todd noted that he had nothing to do in prison other than read and work out. Therefore, it was easy for him to get in even better shape than ever before. He also added that he did not have any cosmetic work, including Botox. However, he did joke that his Botox from before going away may not have worn off. One reporter who was at the press conference said this to Todd Chrisley. He jokingly called it the BOPIP, Bureau of Prisons, glow. Todd went on to add this. Does anyone believe him? Despite attributing his fresh look to a prison glow-up, did Todd Chrisley convince all of his fans and followers? He looked exceptionally good and refreshed, plus Botox can kick in as soon as one day. Therefore, there is a chance that he had a little something done before he went live. After seeing Todd for the first time in over 2 years, fans were blown away by his appearance. The world will likely never know if Todd Chrisley had a little freshening up before his live press conference. Regardless, he looks phenomenal, and his family is thrilled to have him back. The Georgia sun was high when the gates of federal prison Camp Pensacola clanged open, and Todd Chrisley stepped out in tailored khakis and a freshly ironed shirt, looking like he had just come from a Neiman Marcus clearance rack rather than a correctional facility. Cameras weren't allowed, but if they were, Todd would have strutted like it was his comeback tour. Julie wasn't there. She was still serving her time. But Savannah was. She leaned against a black SUV with oversized sunglasses hiding her teary eyes. Grayson sat in the back seat scrolling TikTok, pretending this wasn't a family reunion filmed in lowercase. "Daddy," Savannah whispered, stepping forward. Todd held her tightly, whispering something only she could hear. Then pulling back, he looked at her face, really looked. "I hope you didn't touch my closet while I was gone." "Daddy, your closet is in storage, and I sold the Bentley." He blinked, horrified. Life was different. The mansion was gone, replaced by a modest modern farmhouse that Todd referred to as rustic rehab chic. Gone were the golden drapes and mirrored walls. In their place, IKEA shelving and motivational quotes like grace, not guilt. Though Savannah admitted she may have bought those just to soften the blow. Todd's first weeks home were full of questions. Everyone, from talk show hosts to gossip bloggers, wanted to know, did prison change him? The truth? Todd had changed, but not in the way anyone expected. He still woke up at 5 a.m. sharp, only now it wasn't to preen in the mirror. He journaled, not about fashion or flair, but forgiveness. Every morning, like clockwork, he'd scribble entries into a monogrammed leather journal titled From Cell to Serenity. His therapist told him it was healthy. Savannah wasn't so sure. "You're starting to sound like a motivational speaker," she told him one morning. Well, Todd said with a grin, they make good money. And after losing that beach house in Destin, I'll need it. Then came the podcast. Chrisley Confessions, Redemption Season, launched just 1 month after his release. No longer the snarky Southern dad slinging insults like throw pillows, Todd now leaned into vulnerability. I used to think designer suits could cover sin, he said in one episode. Turns out, orange jumpsuits reveal truth. Fans were divided. Half missed the old, sassy Todd who weaponized wit like a credit card. The other half were inspired by his sermons on grace, guilt, and government cheese. Either way, the download skyrocketed. Julie called every Tuesday. Todd kept her on speakerphone in the kitchen, where the wallpaper had been stripped and replaced with plain white paint. The calls were short but sweet. She was proud of him, skeptical too. Don't get too holy now, she warned. I still expect a Chanel bag when I get out. Already budgeted, Todd replied. After I tithe, of course. Chase had been suspiciously quiet since his dad's release. He showed up one afternoon with his girlfriend and a bottle of champagne. He claimed he wanted to celebrate his dad's rebrand. But halfway through the visit, Chase blurted, "Are you really done with the whole fame thing? Like for real?" Todd leaned back in his minimalist armchair, wearing a white t-shirt and a Rolex he'd managed to keep. "I'm not chasing fame anymore," he said. "But if fame comes chasing me, I'll answer the door politely." 2 months later, Netflix called. The pitch. A reality docuseries called Chrisley, After the Fall. Todd hesitated. "I don't know. I've worked so hard on my growth." Savannah raised a brow. "And we've worked so hard on our bills." They signed the contract a week later. The cameras returned, but this time they captured a different man. Todd planting tomatoes in a backyard garden. Todd volunteering at a re-entry program for former inmates. Todd baking muffins for a Sunday church brunch and accidentally using cayenne instead of cinnamon. The show was a hit, but not for the reasons it used to be. It wasn't about drama anymore. It was about redemption. Viewers cried when Todd gave an ex-con a job on his new home renovation crew. They laughed when he tried to understand TikTok trends from Grayson. They cheered when he gave a speech at a local high school called "Mistakes Don't Define You, Unless You Let Them." But old habits die hard. At a charity gala, someone asked Todd if he missed his old lifestyle. "I miss the glam, not the guilt," he said. "But if someone wants to sponsor a diamond-studded Bible, I'm listening." Then came the test. An invitation to appear on a shady podcast that had once mocked his downfall. The host promised millions of views and a massive paycheck. Todd declined. Savannah was shocked. "Are you sure? That's a lot of money." Todd smiled. "I'd rather rebuild my soul than my savings." Months passed. Julie's release date approached. Savannah took over most of the business operations. Todd started writing a book, Glamour to Grace, The Chrisley Confessions. He wasn't perfect. He still had moments where he snapped at the grocery clerk for bagging eggs under the cantaloupe, or insisted the dining chairs be reupholstered in a fabric called Forgiven Velvet. But he was trying, and that Savannah realized was enough. One night under Tennessee stars, Todd sat on the porch, sipping tea. Grayson joined him, phone in hand. Someone on Reddit said you're faking the whole redemption arc. Todd didn't blink. Let them talk. I faked being rich better than I ever faked being redeemed. Then he smiled. But this time, son, I'm not acting. Did Todd Chrisley change after his release? Yes. Not completely, not perfectly, but just enough to matter. And in the world of reality TV, that's as real as it gets.